So, guys, let's talk about everybody's favorite faction in the world, the Bloodline. So, we made this video to discuss the the feud that's going to happen, and I feel like it'll probably go to SummerSlam. Roman Reigns versus Jimmy Uso. So, Jimmy Uso has now left the Bloodline and is going up against Roman Reigns in this feud. So, the question is, do we see it happening at Money in the Bank or at SummerSlam? What's what's gonna happen? I wanna know from you, Mr. WrestleDrop, what is the plan? What's gonna happen?
So I've seen people say that this is what I've seen people outline this whole story. So, oh, this guy's stealing Ciclero's gimmick. BeanieBoy is here with the beanie on. Anyway, I've seen people saying
In honor of you, boy.
in honor of BeanieBoy, I've seen people saying that we're gonna get Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns versus the Uso at Money in the Bank, and then we're gonna get Jimmy versus Roman at SummerSlam. And I'm like, that makes sense. I can see why people are predicting that. I can see why it's gonna happen, why they think it's gonna happen. I don't know if you can hold on to a Jimmy storyline for that long without Jey getting involved, though. That's my only thought. Like,
Yeah, I also agree with you. I agree with you.
that's a long time for you to just build up between those two. Because let's not forget, Jey is the main character in this between those Usos with regards to the Roman storyline. Jey is the one that started with. Jey is the one that had beef a couple months ago, and then he toned it down. I don't know why. I think he got scared. This guy's working with PTSD after what Roman did to him in 2020. So I don't think you can go all the way to SummerSlam with Jimmy and not have Jey involved.
True. That's very true. Because if it was Jay, then I would have been like,
SummerSlam.
maybe
Yeah,
you could do something like that.
correct.
Yeah, but the thing is, if they want to carry on with the story of Roman versus Jimmy, we all know that Roman's not going to make a lot of appearances, so it's going to be Jimmy, Jay, Solo, and then Roman once every 2-3 weeks will get involved,
I feel
something
you.
like
I
that.
feel you. It's just that, is Jey gonna look like a bitch and all the way till SummerSlam? You know what I'm saying? Because right now he looks like a bitch. He literally, he's scared to do anything to Roman. He's trying to mend a friendship or mend a relationship that's not there anymore. I don't know. This guy's scared of
Yeah,
Roman, bro. He's terrified. That Hell in a Cell match got this man shaking.
bro. It, it was 3 years ago, and he's still close to this day, like down.
Look, I think what we could see, in my opinion, is we could see, because we know Roman is scheduled for Money in the Bank. We know Roman is scheduled for SummerSlam. I think we could end up seeing Roman versus Jimmy at SummerSlam. Or not even. We could end up just seeing, like we said, Roman and Solo versus Jimmy and Jey at Money in the Bank, sorry. And then we get Roman versus Jey, like it's meant to be, like the storyline has told us it's gonna happen for the past just under a year now, when the issues with Jey and Roman started building again. So I think that's the match we have to see at SummerSlam.
Possibly, that's a possibility. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And this begs the question: What if Roman were to lose to Jey Uso? If it's Roman versus Jey,
It's not happening, but that would be crazy. It's not happening. Like, there's 0% chance it happens, but that would be insane, actually. And storyline wise, if Jey was just a bigger name, if he wasn't a tag wrestler before, you know what I'm saying? If he was like a single star, like Sami Zayn, before the Bloodline storyline, I could be like, that could happen. Because then you're making a
true.
star. But it's Jey at the end of the day. Jey is Jey. Jey's good at what he does, but he's not a world champion. What do you think? Do you think
Yeah.
he could hold the title?
Well, the thing is, I know for a fact that Jey is not gonna be world champion, and I've said this on numerous occasions. Like, guys, as much as y'all want it to happen, and it would be awesome, let's be real. WWE are not going to give Jey a world title, especially when he's still teaming with his brother. But I wouldn't be mad either if it were to happen. Like, but then there's also going to be problems because people are gonna say, "Well, why couldn't Cody get this? Why couldn't Cody win it?" That's
Then
what
it's
I'm
like,
afraid
are
of.
you telling me Cody couldn't win? Drew couldn't win. Brock Lesnar couldn't beat him. Edge and Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan at the time, couldn't beat him in the same match. Kevin Owens couldn't beat him. Sami Zayn couldn't beat him. But Jey Uso could beat him.
Most numerous opponents couldn't beat him at the time. Jey Uso can.
Yeah, it doesn't add up, eh? It doesn't add up.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that might, like the only loophole, is the fact that there's no more bloodline backing up Roman. Because the only way he beat Drew, Cody, Brock, I'm not gonna say Edge and Bryan Danielson, because I don't remember any of the bloodline getting involved there. But those latest matches,
I think Jey got involved in most of the matches before the bloodline was formed.
yeah. Either way, that's the only thing, is there's no one to get involved anymore, because now he's against the person that helped him out. So that's the one thing that I think could make a difference in it, and maybe be a loophole for why Jey can beat Roman and the rest couldn't.
True. And let's also not forget that the reason why Roman versus Jimmy might happen at SummerSlam is because Jimmy left the bloodline and is cementing himself as the new tribal chief and nobody's bitch like he did 2 years ago. But yeah. And also, I see Jimmy as more of the reasonable person with reason in this story, because he doesn't want tension. He just wants to follow the orders and do what's right. But he has his limits also. So that's why.
Yeah, I have more faith in someone like Jey doing the job than Jimmy, just because what their character has been for the last 2 years. Jey has always treaded like on the fine line with Roman, pushed the buttons. He's the one that said, "I don't care what the tribal chief said." He's the one that had the issues with Sammy and everything, whereas Jey was kind of chilling on the side. I mean, Jimmy was kind of chilling on the side, not doing much at all. So I don't know. Jimmy is not believable for me.
True, but he is the only person in the bloodline that stood up to Roman. So
what about Solo Sikoa versus Roman?
That might happen next year, if I'm being honest with you.
After Roman loses his title, or before?
Well, if I were to say before, I don't. I think it'll happen.
Or
after.
does he lose his title to Solo?
That's another thing that people have. Like, I even mentioned this once. If Solo were to beat Roman, how would y'all react? Like, Solo, he is a badass, but I don't think he's the one. I don't think he's the one.
He needs more character. He needs to speak more on the mic. He needs a bit more about him. And that'll come with time. I'm not saying he'll never have that, but he just hasn't been given that opportunity because there's so many talkers within the bloodline already. I mean, Paul, Roman, the Usos, they can all talk their asses off. So there's no reason for Solo to talk. So we don't really know much about him other than he's a badass, like you say.
Exactly. So yeah, I think Roman versus Solo, that'll happen next year after Roman loses the title.
So after Mania. I'm trying to gauge where you think he'll lose the title.
Because I feel like Jey will stay by force, and then Solo will still be in cahoots with Roman. But then Roman will reach breaking point and blame Solo and Jey for the loss, and that's when Solo leaves Bloodline. Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
it seems far-fetched, but I feel like that's the way it could
With
go.
the inclusion of the new World Heavyweight title, I'm honestly looking at Roman's storyline and I'm thinking he's not even going to lose it at Mania, at WrestleMania 40. He's going to go past Mania 40. That's the way I'm looking at it right now, because there's another world title around now. So there's, yeah. I just got a feeling it's going to go on longer than we think again. I really have that feeling.
Yeesh.
I'm thinking like
And
next year's SummerSlam, not even this SummerSlam.
Yeah, no. The thing is, either this year SummerSlam or next year WrestleMania, Roman loses the belts.
I think he's gonna go past.
Actually, not even SummerSlam. Not even this SummerSlam.
No, I think he's gonna go past Mania. I don't know why. It scares me to think about that Roman's gonna hold the title longer than Mania, but I think it's gonna happen. I think Cody is gonna end up going for the other title for a while, work his way around again, and then eventually come back to Roman. Or someone new will come and take that title.
We'll see. We shall see. The future is uncertain and we don't know what's going to happen. But you'd be lying to yourself if you say that this storyline hasn't kept you on the edge of your seat. Be honest with yourself.
For sure.
We've said it with Phil before, but it slowly starts to pick up for some weird reason.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster. It's like one moment you think, this is boring now, move on, and then it picks up again. And then it gets boring again, then it picks up again. So, but yeah, let's see. I mean, that's our prediction for, or our little insights onto what we think is going to happen between Roman and the Bloodline. Let us know down below what you guys think. Let us know in the comments. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.
Peace.